Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. This is a video about ranking of the governors of America. Now, as you see, most of the GOP governors here I do not know a lot about, so I just rank them in the C tier. They're like all in the middle, and I cannot claim to know enough about them to properly rank them in this tier list. And all of the Democrats are already ranked, you just can't see the tier they're in because it's below F. Except from the ones that let right go unchecked last summer, they are even below that tier. People like Kate Brown of Oregon. But we still have 11 Republican governors that are up for ranking because I do know some things about them, so let's get to it. This is going to be an exciting video. And it was requested, so yeah, sure, do make requests. I'm happy to get ideas about what I should make videos about, so requests in the comments are absolutely appreciated. The first one we have is Asa Hutchinson of Arkansas. He has been getting some media fire lately for going off the GOP position today about transgender sports, and I believe he vetoed a bill that would have prohibited trans students from competing in sports not matching their biological sex. He vetoed that. So that's of course not doesn't give a bright picture of him, but it also did sign into law that Arkansas statues in the Washington DC to appease the political correct audience of today would be changed from I believe that they had probably some controversial figures, but everything about in the South's history before the 1960s is only the dark past of America, so they had to get new statues, and he was the one who signed it into law. I think in the general I'm going to put him in the D tier. I haven't heard too much positive about him. Some negatives. I don't think you should be caving into what is woke and politically correct when you're an elected GOP governor from a state like Arkansas, which is very conservative. Now, Kemp of Georgia. His state is very on the opposite of what Arkansas is in the way that it has trended Democratic. Arkansas has trended Republican. And Kemp, he ran on a bit too polarizing platform in 2018. He should have won by a bigger margin than he did. He won by quite a narrow margin against a bad opponent. So I think he might maybe aligned himself too closely with Trump for that state. But his mistake as governor was mainly appointing Kelly Loeffler to fill a Senate vacancy by Johnny Isakson, because Isakson was undefeatable. There is no taking down Johnny Isakson. He won every suburban county around Atlanta, and he crushed the Democrats in every election he had. So replacing him with Loeffler, who cannot debate, who is unpopular, unelectable, and not a skilled politician, a businesswoman and all that, but not a good politician. And that screwed over Georgia. And I believe that you can actually blame Kemp for the GOP having lost the Senate. But he is also a Trumpian guy, so I'm going to put him in the D tier. The next one is Charlie Baker of Massachusetts. I don't think I should be bashing him too much because of issues. It is a very blue state, and he is a moderate centrist, maybe a bit liberal governor. But if you have been to Massachusetts, they're actually doing quite well there. And in 2018, when the Young Turks predicted or noticed that he had won re-election, they got so upset. So it's impossible to hate this guy. I mean, if it wasn't him, it would be a Democratic governor, and he has made some liberal tears appear from time to time. So I'm going to put him in the B tier. Might be controversial. Many will disagree about this. He is not a conservative. He is not a Trumpian person. He is more anti-Trump, but still. Chris Sununu goes to the A tier. He is the northeastern governor of a swing state. He is pro-Trump. He is pro-America and a good patriot and a good governor overall. Doug Ducey of Arizona. Many people are angry at him for the 2020 election in Arizona, but I don't think that he could have done much differently. It's difficult for him to support evidence and say wholeheartedly that he believed that it was election fraud. But I'm going to put him in the C tier because I just feel that that is where he belongs. Now, Greg Abbott of Texas. Greg Abbott of Texas, nice guy. Yeah, he has signed bills into law that are sort of a symptom of pro-Trump, pro-America values in many different ways, and I absolutely like Greg Abbott. He goes to the B tier. Now, Greg Gianforte of Montana, he has not been governor for a long time, but he has made a reputation for himself, and I believe that he has kept his promises and stayed good on the issues, and while he could still need some time to prove that he's a great governor, I am definitely giving him the benefit of the doubt because I have a very good impression about him and how he is running the state. Larry Hogan of Maryland, I guess you could call him a Charlie Baker type. When he took over Maryland, was just driven down the drain. You cannot govern a state more liberal and more terrible than how Maryland has been during many years. You have Baltimore, which is a crime-infested hole. You just need a strong Republican to take charge of things and make things better, and that's why I think Larry Hogan is okay. I'm going to put him in the C tier because, unlike Charlie Baker, he has sort of become the leader of the anti-Trump movement of the party, which I do not like. Kirsten Noem, absolutely like Kirsten Noem. Governor of South Dakota. It's a very small state, so I don't think she should be running for president or anything. That's probably one thing to hold against her, but she's definitely someone who has not disappointed. She has been good. And the next one is Phil Scott. I do feel that the F tier is meant for Democrats, mostly. Phil Scott, the governor of Vermont, he has also been quite much anti-Trump. And compared with Maryland, where Larry Hogan sort of took charge of things and made a big difference, Vermont is just a rural, mostly white state where not a lot of things happen anyways. So electing Phil Scott didn't make much of a difference there. I'm going to put him in the D tier. I have some company with the southern governors there. And of course, Ron DeSantis goes straight to the S tier, no debate about that. He's the greatest governor of America as far as I know. Having said that, of course, I don't know a lot about these governors in the C tier. Most of them. And I believe that is all. This is actually the third time I recorded this video, because I have not been happy with the results. I have had some voice problems because of not being completely healthy. It's not COVID, so don't worry about that. But I have not been able to perform my best, and I do want to do that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll be happy, and I'll see you next time.